So you guys were I'm hearing a lot of you guys wanted a theme song shortened, so here we go. This girl reviews movies, games, and books. Sometimes she plays them. So does that, and when she does it with the cat, does that make her crazy? Does that make her crazy? Probably. So, it's shorter. There you go. Crazycatlady or Martha Butler does not own any trailers or pictures. I use them under fair use, educational, for education and entertainment purpose.
Hi everybody, Martha here. So I got something I kind of need getting off my chest, so to speak. I'm making this video to talk about the Disney villains problem. I'm hoping a new movie Encanto helps to fix this problem. But to tell you the truth, ever since Frozen came into the picture, we've had a problem with Disney villains. The last true Disney villain out there was Dr. Facilitate from Princess and the Frog. I'm pretty sure that one came out after Tangled, but him and that villain are the last true ones out there that have been the last Disney villains. So let's have a little history lesson about and what I think about I'll probably do all the Disney villains. I don't know if I am or not, but we'll find out. So let's start with the very beginning Disney villain. And I'm guessing I probably am going to put him in here, even though he's not in. He only did like one movie where he was a Disney villain. The rest of the time he's doing shorts. Pete was technically was Disney's first Disney villain because he was Mickey's villain, and basically what he did was kidnap Minnie a lot. So, and he gave Mickey a hard time, and that was okay. It was basically a damsel in distress moment, and we get to see Pete do a lot of stuff, and sometimes he is a villain that is a guy who also has a regular job, and Mickey is there to get him fired or something like that, or he's just there to be Mickey's boss, like he is in Once Upon a Christmas and the last segment, or where he kicks him off a train, and that one short where Mickey's on a train and not allowed to have Pluto on there. So mostly, in a way, mostly Pete's just an obstacle for Mickey. So yeah. So he's alright for our first Disney villain that Disney made. The Evil Queen from Snow White. She's mostly there to look scary and make have Snow White a reason to leave and go live with the Seven Dwarfs, which please just leave that movie alone, Disney. Don't do it. Especially if you're not gonna have you're not gonna have the dwarfs in the movie. Just don't bother remaking it. But the Evil Queen, she is there, and I probably am wrong about this, but I don't think. I always thought that she was just like um, Lady Tremaine and I thought she was played the same as like actress, but I guess not. Those two just sound the same. But she is there just to look like when she's the queen. She's just there to give orders to the huntsman and to tell her to go and kill Snow White, and then get mad about it. And then we watch her come the old hag. I think the old hag is way more scary than her as the evil queen. And yeah, so there. Let's see. Do I talk about the villains and the villains in Pinocchio? Because Pinocchio's the next one. Because Bambi's villain is Man, and that's just we really don't see Man really. I mean, Man kills Bambi's mom, but that's all we get to see of him. That have them happen. Everything else is just them running away from them, and they start the forest on fire. Don't start forest on fire. They don't kill a doe's mom, basically. With Pinocchio's villains, they all win basically. Do you think about it? Except for because think about it. Honest John and the cat, Gideon, both get to keep all their money from the coachman. The coachman gets to keep all the donkeys, coal mimes. I mean, I think the only one that doesn't win is Stromboli because Pinocchio got away. So yeah, the villains won in that movie. Yay! Even though Pinocchio turns into a real boy in that movie, the three of the villains get away with what they did. So yeah. So I know that book is really hard to deal with since this is trying to prove don't be a bad boy. And first half of that book, the author just wanted to have Pinocchio die, and everybody else is like, no, have him win, have him turn into a real boy. So the book must be really hard to adapt for Disney, but they did a great job. Yeah, I think they did a great job to adapt that movie. And we're not gonna talk about any of the movies that were like half, like cut in half and made into like little. Forget about the 40s, basically. So yeah, don't think I'm gonna do those. Now, the next one I'm probably gonna talk about is Lady Tremaine from Cinderella. For a woman who has no superpowers and just mainly is there to make Snow White's life a living hell because she is jealous of her beauty. She wished that she had a daughter like this instead of her two daughters like Anastasia and Trigella. I really think that's what she wants. She wants that to be her daughter. To be one of her daughters. That's why she makes her do all the chores and stuff like that. Even though technically, yeah, she could be one of her daughters. Instead, she wants to make Cinderella just work for her life, and a lot of people probably think, why didn't she just leave? She was traumatized as a kid, I bet. And there's a theory out there that probably, I always thought maybe later Tremaine killed Snow White's dad or something like that. Part of me thinks that so he can like inherit his money or something like that. And make really where Cinderella will work for her. But she just, when you first see her, she's like, I don't really watch these movies, but she's like stroking a cat, like a dog, like a freaking um John, freaking James Bond villain, and then we see her like reverse line. We hear her first say, "Hold her tongue," and she's mad at Snow White. She's mad at Cinderella for something that's not her fault. She's mad because the Lucifer made it where all the like that Cinderella ruined the breakfast for Drizella and for Drizella, I think, by having having Gus inside of one of her teacups or coffee cups, whatever, and gets a surprise. A mouse is in my cup. And that was Lucifer that did that, not Cinderella. But Cinderella gets blamed for it. And so Lucifer just made Cinderella's day a whole lot worse than it probably really was going to be, making her clean the whole entire house more. Yay! Good job, Lucifer! So, and yeah, and she wants to make sure that Cinderella doesn't go to the ball. And has nothing to do with the prince anyway. Why she doesn't want to go to the ball. She wants to go so she can have a night off. She doesn't know. She knows that the prince is going to be there, but she wants a night off. And basically, from having her life being a living hell, and Lady Tremaine says, "No, you're not. Your life will always be a living hell, and you always will work for the four of us." Yes, there's four, because she works for Lucifer too. So yeah. So, and the fact that she won't even let her get away, because once she figures out that Cinderella was the woman the prince danced with, and ruined her chance at living at the palace, because somehow Anastasia and Drizella would get the prince to woo them as woundness. Okay, whatever. And so she keeps the key and locks her up. Yeah. And she breaks the slipper and thinks she wins. And then she finds out the slipper that Cinderella has another one. So yeah. That should have been proof right there. That she didn't need to try that shoe on. The fact that she has the other shoe does not mean to prove I am the other woman. I am the woman that the prince danced with. Okay, Grand Duke. So yeah. Anyway, the fact that she was so menacing without any magic, unlike the evil queen, and what happens later on. Maleficent, so yeah. And we also have, looks like we also have the Queen of Hearts. She's just mostly a woman who just goes around and getting mad and telling them to cut their heads off anytime when she doesn't get her way. That's basically what her is. And everybody's scared to death of her. Poor Alice is just scared while she's sleeping, because she fell asleep during a history lesson. So yeah, I don't know what is that supposed to represent for her. So yeah, and Captain Hook, I don't know, he's just comic relief and in the movie, really, because we get to watch the crocodile try to eat him. Like, one part he's menacing, really, is the end of the movie, is when Peter Pan is told not to fly. That's the one part where he's really menacing. And when he's probably putting the bomb down there. down the tree to blow him up, and then Tinkerbell almost dies because she gets blown up instead. In the book, it's a potion that he's supposed to drink, but I guess they didn't want to poison Tinkerbell. So yeah, so they just go with a bomb instead. So yeah, mostly I like Captain Hook, but he's not really menacing. He's mostly a common relief character. We just watched the crocodile try to eat him. It's funny. I do like the scenes where we get to watch the crocodile try to eat him. It is funny. I agree. But compared to a lot of other villains, he's not that menacing. I do understand. Like, I get one. He probably did get picked as one of the villains for Kingdom Hearts because the 2 boss fights we have with him can be hard. But yeah. So yeah. There you go. So the next one looks like Maleficent to have a list right here of all the villains in order. And is she the best villain out there? Yes, she is. She is the reason why you watch the movie. You don't watch it for Aurora, do you? No! You watch it for her. Watch it for her to get mad, and it has nothing to do with the fact that she didn't get invited. That's just her excuse. Trust me, if she was invited to the dumb party of Aurora being born, she probably would have done this anyway. She probably would have tried to kill Aurora anyway. She doesn't care. She just wants to kill somebody. She just wants to make your life a living hell. She doesn't want to rule the world. She just wants your day to be living hell. And the next day, and the rest of your life be living hell. I mean, look what she wants to do to Philip. Philip has done nothing wrong to her. Philip's not part of the reason why she didn't get invited. He's just the reason why Aurora might wake up. Because since Merryweather corrected that problem. And so what does she want to do? She wants maybe keep Philip in there for the rest of his life. Or she's just probably telling him that just to get him ticked off. Or she's just going to let him starve to death. So yeah. Probably. So if I would just let him starve to death, oh well. I guess she didn't want to wake Aurora up. He didn't live her after all. So yeah. He's a skeleton now. Yay! And we also get to deal with the fact that she gets mad at all her little minions, who are idiots, who think, oh, Aurora won't aged up. And she acts like so nice to them. Did you hear that, my pet? All these years they've been looking for a baby. And she laughs so nicely at first, and then she goes, idiots! Imbeciles! And disgrace the forces of evil! Then she just starts striking them with lightning. Oh, she's so... And I love her design and everything. And I understand why Disney would have her own movie, but it ruined her. So yeah, I mean, she was so great in it. She was so great. I'm perfectly okay with her not having her own Disney villain song. I would not want to hear her sing. It's not really her part of her deal. So yeah. And the next one looks like is Cruella. Yeah, Cruella, the one where it's a woman who wants to make a coat out of puppies. She is just I don't know. She is a woman that is not doing this for a really bad reason, and she asks 2 buffoons, Horace and Jasper, to do the job for her. So I guess she isn't caught, and she does get mad at for Jasper calling her, and this point let her know we want our money. And like, they can track you guys, you idiots. So, and we see her chasing the Dalmatians to make sure they don't get back, so she can make them to a coat. So mostly she's just an angry woman, and I do love hearing her yell at Roger and Anita. And I just, only time I'm okay with them making a live action movie for her, because since Glenn Close did just a great job as her, both of them do a great job as her. So so it was she's a great villain. Yep. So let me move that one over. Okay. Will you really count Ursula as the next one? Those are just primary villains. Let me look at the ones right here that are minor ones. I'll decide. I'm going to pause for a moment and decide which ones do I talk about next for you guys out of these ones, okay? So hold on. Okay, before I continue, don't use stupid Wikipedia for this, or if you're wondering all the Disney villains in a row, because some of them are Pixar villains. And sometimes they use wrong pictures. Like for the Big Bad Wolf, for people who don't know, the Big Bad Wolf is from the Three Little Pigs, and those are like 3 shorts they made into that Disney made back in the 30s. And Big Bad was the villain, and the picture they use on here, or I looked up, is from Little Red Riding Hood. I don't remember them even doing that. But okay, whatever. They don't even show what he really looks like. And one of the reasons I know about him is because of Sing Along, Disney Sing Along, the Disneyland one, because he's one of the villains from that video where they do the Grand World's Grape. So yeah, and he's one of the villains there. And he probably is no longer at the parks because a lot of kids don't know who this is anymore. Anyway, let's talk about another villain, because for some reason Shere Khan does not count as a main villain. He's one of the minor ones that don't get shown on here. I had to go looking for a list, and he's under a stupid villain from Planes. Okay. I never seen that movie, and I probably never will. Shere Khan is a villain that wants to basically eat a little boy because he's afraid of what he could become. So yeah, and Ka wants to eat him because he just wants to eat him. So yeah, and they build him up through the whole entire movie, basically, because all the animals in the jungle are scared of this one tiger. Even a bunch of wolves are. I mean, I get a bear and a black leopard, but a whole entire pack of wolves? What? Why? I never really got that part. So, in the movie, but okay. I mean, they build him up and show him like how cunning he is and how satisfied he is and stuff like that. It was and everything. And how much this little boy should be scared of him. So yeah. So Shere Khan's just really good at, and they build him up for the whole entire movie, and I think they do a good job of that. So that part, great, and I do like the 2 scenes we get Ka, basically him trying to eat Mowgli by hypnotizing him to death, even though I don't think in the book, I don't think Ka's a bad guy. because he's not a guy, it's a girl. So anyway, so let me see. Let me think about who else should I talk about here. Okay, I would say probably the regular Disney villains. The two worst ones are probably Madame Mim and Edgar, because Edgar, like, his whole entire motivation's stupid. He could just probably kill the cats or keep them and just spend the money himself. What the cat's gonna spend the money on? Nothing! Okay, you say they want to buy a car? Let them buy a car! So yeah. Hello, idiot! And Madame Mim, we get to see her be a villain for like one scene or two scenes really. I mean, the whole entire Wizard duel fight is really good. It's really good animation. Watching these two be animals for in different animals. That's a good fight for Merlin to have but it isn't really the climax. It should be, but because Merlin leaves after this soon. So yeah. And so, and Arthur doesn't really get to fight him. So Merlin does. So yeah, those two are probably the ones I would say the worst ones. The next ones, the three of these I'm going to talk about is well, I'm not going to talk about Hist. I'm talking about Prince John, and Prince John is not just a big crybaby, because he comes up with two ideas that really get Robin into trouble. He plans the archery because he knows that would be a perfect bait to get Robin Hood there, and it does. And he sees through Robin's disguise really quickly once he sees that Marion likes the archer, so he figures that's Robin, and so he lowers and cuts, and if it wasn't for Little John, Robin would have died, and Prince and the sheriff guy, you just hate him. You really do hate him, because what does he do? He goes around taking money from people who are back on their last life, basically, because they're all poor, because since some asshole is taking all their money away. He robs from everybody. Cripples, a mom who's basically the woman who lives out of a shoe since how many kids she has. And even though Robin Hood is not, when Robin's pretending to be the beggar, he robs from him, because yeah, you're supposed to think he's blind, so he even robs from the blind. He thinks he's blind. Okay? So it counts. The fact that the sheriff thinks this guy's blind and he still takes money from him. Yeah. So yeah. I don't know. So, and none of them get away with it. They get arrested. And even though technically this is the legend, it doesn't betray history that well. Because two people in the movie are real people. We don't know about Robin Hood, because he's based off a lot of different people. But Prince John and King Richard were both real people. Neither of them were good kings. There's your history lesson for you guys. King Richard was a bad king too, not just King John, not just King John. So yeah. Anyway, that's what I think about those two. And oh yeah, and the other one was the fact that for Prince John, he decided to kill a monk, and so order to get Robin Hood there too. And both times he did it. Got him there. So yeah, he's a lot more smart than you guys, a lot of people give him credit for. So let me see, what else can we talk about here? I'm not going to talk about them in order because some of them are ones that we're talking about. So let me see. Like Stryker, I'm not going to talk about him. So we're probably just going to go up here and talk about Ursula, because I think the next one, I think I talked about, oh yeah, Ratigan. He was a good villain too. Vincent Price did a great job voicing him. He is a good foil to Basil, and he does trick him a couple times. He gets mad when people call him a rat. So he did that. That is a really he's a good villain. He's just a lot of ones that people forget about, sadly. So let me see. If anyone can find any other ones that are for Ursula. That bottom part. If I wanted, so the next one, Ursula she is a great villain. I might repeating myself from when I made my Little Mermaid review. She no one her reason, like she's supposed to be mad at Trident since that's a sister and like a delayed scene, but that probably should not count that since it's not really part of the movie. But she mostly is just doing this out of revenge. So, and she hypnotizes Eric, and she gets stabbed. So, I think she is a great villain. Her song is really great. So, yep. The next one, I think Jafar's next. Before Gaston, Jafar, I would say as a kid, he's probably my best villain because my favorite villains. Because I know a lot of these are probably already said in my favorite Disney villains, so I'm just gonna get to the point why I'm making this video. I'm really hoping Kanto does correct this problem because it looks like they are kind of correcting this problem since they haven't really done any trick villains really that often anymore. But trick villains have kind of ruined Disney's villains because we only get like 5 minutes of them. Otherwise, we're just trying to guess who the villain is, and sometimes we end up having like a villain that is who we think the villain is. Like in Frozen, we think it's the Duke of Whistleton. Turns out it's Prince Hans, and I think Duke of Whistleton would have been a great villain. He would have. He would have. But nope, we had to have a surprise and be surprised by Hans, and there's like no hint that he is the villain. I think the best one they've done that's a trick villain is King Candy. Since in the way you can actually tell it's him during the movie. They do give hints. They do foreshadow it that's King Candy, and the fact that they keep on saying "Don't go turbo, don't hurt movie" is another way they're foreshadowing, and the fact that we see him. So I think that's like the perfect way. The fact that they foreshadow it, it's a good way. Big Hero 6. I love Big Hero 6. It's a great movie, but Callahan was way too easy to guess because there was only 2 options, and you can just pretty much, since how obvious they're being with that one guy, so you just pretty much can guess it's him. Don't hurt movie. So yeah, and the sheep. You can't really guess it's her really that much either. I mean, I do like Zootopia 2. mostly for the relationship we get with the two main characters, but not because of her. It's mostly a mystery. But yeah, for most cops, it's a mystery. You have to figure out what's going on anyway. And let me see, what else? Moana. It's nice to see that we get to have a villain that is technically not a villain. The lava monster, as you find out, it's just the island losing her heart. So, yeah. I guess you want to count the crab. And, yep. Did I forget anybody? Let me know if I did. Out of the trick villains. I'm not counting the Pixar ones, so don't ask me to name any of them. So, and the entire movie, a reason why I make this video begin with Encanto, and I'm sorry I said Isabella's name wrong during that review. I was saying Annabelle, but it was Maribel. So I said it wrong again. There's too many names with bells in it. Might as well call her Elizabeth. Wait, that doesn't have bell in it. We're pretty close though. Anyway, I do love what they did with Bruno. Man, what's with Disney and Bruno? They must hate Bruno because Kanto has a Bruno problem too. But the way you're supposed to not like him because of everybody, he's predicting a lot of things that he had no control over, and so yeah, you can't help that you're predicting that. It's not your fault. And I like the fact that he's like dressed in green and Green's supposed to be a villainous thing. And what I like about that, the fact that he's not the villain, and there's no villain really. Unless you count the grandma, but I don't really count her as grandma because she realizes what she did was wrong for treating her whole entire family badly. So I just really hope that Disney knows no more trick villains, no more, and go back to doing where the whole entire movie this person is bad and is being an obstacle before the hero. And giving the hero a hard time. Now we're just trying to see, maybe it's that person. No, maybe it's that person. No, maybe it's that person. Stop dressing up somebody as a freaking wolf. And it turns out they're actually sheep. And we actually see the real wolf hiding and see the wolf dancing around saying, I'm a villain, for the last 5 minutes. Stop doing that. Stop it. It's getting annoying. So, give me a real villain soon. Disney, that's all I want from you guys. A villain that acts like a villain the whole entire movie. So, that's all basically I wanted to say during this video. I want a real Disney villain again in a movie. Okay? Don't make Dr. Faciliate the last Disney villain I see in my life. So yeah, that's all I only want to say. So, bye-bye guys. Like, favorite, and subscribe. And bye-bye.